Hi there, this is also with a new process video. It is actually in the middle of the night and I'm trying to get a couple of voiceovers done before it's time to go to bed again. I fell asleep with the kids and now I am wide awake, so I thought I'd get something done. On the screen here you see that I'm covering a piece of already gessoed cardstock with modeling paste, and then I'm using one of those combs that I bought from Ranger. It's supposed to make lines of different kinds in the medium, and I'm making a grid. And after everything has dried, I made these modeling paste pages a while back, and now it was dry and sitting in my box of mixed media pages. And I took out my Neo Color 2 crayons and started just filling in the different small squares there with different colors. No rhyme or reason to the order there. I just wanted them to be colorful lines across the page. And I'm using a water pen or a water brush, and I'm directly from the crayon. I'm picking up the color and just painting it onto the squares, as just happens when no, like I said, no rhyme or reason for the order, just lines. I have not a lot of those crayons, but I chose a rainbow or a combination that with colors that I really like, so those I really enjoy using them because I like all the colors that I have there. This is the photo that will go onto this page, and now you see the lines, where I'm going with the lines. This is a tablecloth that my daughter embroidered in daycare. When she was 5 years old, going on 6, she went to daycare still, and they had a special group for those her age, so they were almost like a class, and the teachers there were just wonderful, and they taught the kids how to embroider, and it's just an easy stitch where you go under the thread, and so you can make lines. And she embroidered this cloth, and we were so impressed when she came home with it, and we were really impressed with the whole thing, that they had actually taught these kids how to embroider. And we told her a lot, oh, you have made this wonderful piece of a tablecloth here, and we often talked about it. But my daughter wasn't as impressed as we were, because and we laughed a lot about this. She told us with a very grumpy voice, oh, and sometimes they force us to embroider even though we don't want to. And we just looked at her and said, really? How do you make 5 years old embroider and like sit down and sew even though they don't want to? And we thought this was really impressive for these teachers to be able to do that, and we laughed at it quite a lot in this parental kind of way, you know, where you think that someone has made a really funny thing and achieved something really funny, even though the kids weren't very impressed. So we brought that up at a meeting with her teachers, and we laughed about it because they obviously told us that this was a very, very nice exercise to do with the kids when they were just too energetic, or they just needed a break. So this took the kind of the busy vibe away from the group, and they got to calm down, but still very impressive for 5 years old, I think. And this was something they did for the whole group, no matter if it was boys or girls, of course. That kind of equality is very important here in Sweden at the moment, and it has always been, where kids get to do handicraft of all kinds in school. I thought that the photo was a bit dark at the edges, because the table is showing through the tablecloth, and it's also framing the cloth. So I wanted to use my white photo stickers, and I just placed some random sentiments all around the photo. These photo stickers are really good. They have very easy to use sentiments and words, and also symbols that is very easy to use on any project. So lots of arrows and just words pointing out that look at this. This is awesome, or just things like that. I won't frame the photo in any other way than just placing them onto a doily that I cut apart, but I will be framing the layout. So I cut off, I think, together perhaps 1.5 centimeters all around, or together on both sides. And then I had a big problem what I was going to frame the piece with, what color or what kind of paper. But I ended up choosing black paper because I had already the black in the photo. And here you see that I tried with a purple paper, but I didn't like it. It became just wrong in my opinion. So black it will be. And I think that at this point it's very visible that the stitching in the photo goes perfect with the kind of the rows of different colors that I created with those grids with modeling paste. I'm gutting the paper that I'll be placing the layout on, and that's just to save paper, and black cardstock is something that I use a lot, so that will become a title eventually or something else. I have a special folder for black cardstock scraps, so that's something that I always go back to and find smaller pieces when I'm cutting titles and such. These alphas I bought from the TGR, or the Tiger store, when I was in Stockholm, and I bought 2 packages, and they were really kind of they didn't have a very good selections of letters, but since I had 2 packages, I have been able to use it a lot, and I think I only paid perhaps $1 for each package. So I bought these black ones, and I also bought a pink version of the same font, 2 packages of that, but I haven't been using that because I think it becomes too much because they are really large. But the black one has been fun to use, and I wish that I had bought 4 packages of the black instead of 2 of each color. The title for the page will be about no, the journaling of the page will be about what I just told you, the fun thing that they had pretty much forced the kids to sew, and that we had been laughing about it when my daughter needed she wanted to have our support of how horrible a thing that had been for of the teachers to do, but we just laughed because we thought it was really impressive. They actually had managed to do that with 5-year-olds. The title will be Force, and but in Swedish, Tvång, and that's pretty much when you force someone to do something. So not really force, but something close to that. At this point, I had the opportunity to just say that the page was done, but I thought it missed something, some kind of embellishment towards the edge. So I open up the Studio Silhouette Studio program, and I open up a picture file or an image file of a needle, and I will be making 2 large needles, and I click the trace button there and the select trace area, and I select the needle. Then I'm clicking I deselect the high pass filter, and I just pull the threshold tool until the needle fills, and I click trace, and then I can remove the image, and the things left on the screen is the outline of the needle. And this works as an image, and I will be able to just cut it as it looks here on the screen. And I will be making 2 of those, and here they are. This is a bit larger than the second needle because I wanted them to fit on the page, and since I had the journaling on the lower part there, I couldn't have as long a needle as the first one. And when that second needle is glued down, this page is finished. It's a bit different. I think it's fun, and I think the background goes perfect together with the photo, and I had enough space to tell the story of this tablecloth. And no matter what happens to the actual cloth, this memory will always be in my album. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you have enjoyed this process video and that you'll come back soon. Take care. This is Åsa. Bye!